jump like Beerus after, and no, not Beerus. They jump fucking Jiren after, and then Jiren is just beating on all of them. He's not even like struggling.
I got it.
Oh, okay. What was it a bit again? What was it a bit again? I forgot.
You're debating on a game porn is halal.
You just have to prove Omen 1 above Blue Vegeta. Blue Vegeta above Omen 1. I'm agnostic.
Okay, yeah, my argument is pretty simple. Here, I'll just get the panels real quick. Vegeta, oppressive, yada yada yada. He says it's got to be knocked out. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, so one, he presses Jiren much more than Omen 1. He actually makes Jiren break sweat. He also presses Jiren back. I'll send that panel as well. Actually, I'm just sending a panel of Jiren sweating because I think that's like an overlooked panel. There we go. Come on, dude.
Do you think that's because he's actually stronger, or do you think there's like some underlying reason behind that? Like with Jiren, his entire like mental health seems to be built upon the fact that his entire mental health is kind of reliant on him being the strongest and him winning the fight at the current moment. We see that when he's not like winning or when he's struggling, his mental health becomes like really bad. So he might have been having like I don't know, a little bit of like a breakdown where he was like freaking out because he underestimated Vegeta and that Vegeta just broke through his guard and then made his mental crumple.
Yeah, but when it's that's just blatant headcanon. I want you to go ahead and justify him having this like consistency of him breaking down mentally during the tournament of power, because that's what is more so contingent on prior instances. They're trying to build this consistency where his mental state is going to be, I guess, correlative to the level of exertion his opponent is like enacting on him. So I want you to justify that as well. Build me some sort of consistency. And as for the sweating thing, I think that's just due to just exertion. I think that's the most simplest explanation here.
Well, no, it can also be because of stress, and beyond that, you just try to put a burden on me where I never claimed that. I never claimed that it's a consistency. All I claimed is that it happens. So that's really not something I have to prove.
Yeah, sure, it can happen. That's kind of arbitrary though. But we see it right here, like he's visibly sweating. You're saying stress. Well, obviously, stress will be some sort of indicator of you getting pressed to some sort of degree. So I think it's just going to be the case that Vegeta, due to them both enacting on each other physically, and then he then sweats in response. That's because his body's under some sort of duress.
That's sort of you repeating your like belief, though. I want to see justification for that. I see no reason why I should take that over like my belief, which is not necessarily my belief, but some opposing belief, which is literally just he's stressed, so he sweats because he's under bad like emotional duress.
I just gave the reason. For one, I have no reason to believe why it's going to be some sort of emotional duress if there's no prior instance of that being the case. Two, them engaging in some sort of physical altercation. We know the entailment of physical altercation is adding stress onto the body, which inherently makes my position more likely, and it takes the least amount of assumption in comparison to yours, which is more so contingent on the mental state that Jiren has, which is just unverifiable. So I think we can move on.
Well, it's not an assumption, because an assumption would be me saying that this thing actually is the case, right? Me saying that's possible is different, though. That's a different story. And you fighting isn't really a probability increaser, because it's just two different possibilities can occur. You fight and then you get stressed out because this fight is actually straining, or you get stressed out because this fight is taxing on your mind. It's bad on your mental, right? Now, you said another thing at the start. Could you sort of repeat that? Because I wanted to say an additional thing.
For one, that's what's in question to begin with. But yeah, all I'm simply saying here is that given the evidence that we do have, right, the evidence that is clearly demonstrated, off of like what's demonstrated to be the case, then this is what's going to most likely or not be the case, right? instead of just dividing into headcanon, which is essentially what possibilities are to begin with, is saying, oh, this what could have happened or this should have happened, right? Not necessarily what did transpire on panel and what's going to be likely based upon the empirics that we do have. So based on the empirics that we do have, we can draw a likely conclusion that it is due to some sort of physical duress. If we have no sort of indicators that points towards him being under some sort of mental duress, as that's what your possibilities positing here, right? You're positing that he's going under some sort of mental duress, therefore that's why he's sweating his nuts.
Not positing anything on agnostic.
I know what you just said. You just posited a possibility.
Yeah, but are you saying that I'm like arguing for the possibility? Because I'm not. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
No, I'm not saying you're arguing for it. I'm saying that the possibility is arbitrary. But I think we can move on because I believe I justified my position.
Yeah. Also, another thing. This is a thing I remember that I need to address now. So you said that you see no reason to believe in this thing, given that there was no prior instances shown of this thing. But I believe even if we see some empirics of something someone does in character after the fact, I think that can still be a probability increaser for why a person would act a certain way beforehand. Let's say we find out that someone randomly becomes a fucking meth dealer at like 50.
Can you spit it out, bro?
Right? Like a meth dealer at 50, right? And beforehand, we would just be like, okay, they just went fucking crazy because like we have empirics for that. But then like after the fact, we see that they also got diagnosed with cancer, right? So their motivator for that was probably just to make some money before they check out, right? We could do that, right? And it wouldn't be any less probabilistic than the things shown prior.
Okay, right? Show me the instance where this happens.
Yeah, when Jiren is fighting Goku, he like freaks out, and also when he fights Frieza, he's freaking out.
Yeah, so why can't we? So if I ask for the Goku instance, why can't the Goku thing just be the case that, given that we do have contextualization, which is stated, I believe it's stated by Belmont or Topo, that the whole reason why Jiren is going under some sort of like mental duress is because the power disparity between him and Goku was so great that it pushed him back into a corner that he relived his past experiences as a child when he was powerless before the enemy who killed his master. So that's just contextually different than what you're saying. As for the Frieza thing, you're saying, I guess you're pointing towards Frieza fighting Jiren when Jiren's mental state was broken. Yes, I agree that he lost his spirit there because clearly what's the context behind that? Like, are you able to send the context behind that? Because I'm not gonna like assume what you're saying when it pertains to the context.
The first thing is just when Jiren is freaking out and then he does something which is somewhat out of character, where he tries to kill some like bystanders, which he's a pride trooper, he's all about justice. That isn't something which someone who values justice would do. And the second thing is just Frieza like taunting him, saying what happened to that like stone cold facade or whatever, and like literally shooting death beams at his head, and then like Jiren just like lays there and his mental breaks.
Prove his mental breaks. What the hell?
You know what I mean by mental breaks, right? Or do you need an explanation on that?
I mean, yeah, like how I view a mental break is like you just being a fucking vegetable. You're not like responding to anything. You're just in like this comatose state.
No, that's not what I'm saying there. What I'm saying there is just that he's in a bad mental state, and that's why he gets motivational words from Topo afterwards, sort of to try to like get him back into the right headspace so he can perform better. Because obviously, when you're mental isn't good, that's when you're not performing you wouldn't be performing at your best necessarily. Can I address something you said earlier before I forget it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so you said why wasn't it the case that Goku just pressured Jiren enough to where his mental did crack because there was such like a massive gap between the two? I assume you're saying that for like why why that didn't also just happen with Vegeta, but that wouldn't really give you any probability towards your claim. That's sort of just the question. There's two possibilities, in the air already. So one doesn't really have more probability than the other. But I guess I will disagree with the Goku pressuring Jiren thing. My argument against that is just if the offer wanted us to get the memo
you're misrepresenting what I said. I didn't say Goku. Okay, like Okay, I'm gonna like repeat it. I'm gonna try to like repeat it simpler. All I'm really saying here is that during that instance where MUI gets enraged, right, and then he starts pummeling the fuck out of Jiren. Not even that. And
That's not
Omen
what I was
3.
talking about.
Omen 3. Yeah, I mean Omen 3. I mean Omen 3. Omen, yeah, so Omen 3 versus Jiren. Jiren like beats
Are you talking about this?
Omen 3. I feel like you're confused with what my point is.
No, because we were talking about Jiren when he was about to kill bystanders. Why are we talking about Omen 3? That was an MUI thing.
Wait, but you brought up Goku pressing Jiren.
No, I didn't say anything about him pressuring Jiren. I just said that Jiren's mental was bad, so he did something which was out of character, like him trying to kill like the bystanders, and I also brought up the Golden Frieza thing.
Wait, which is a byproduct of Goku pressing Jiren, no?
I didn't mention anything about him getting like pressured.
No, I'm saying the context is, dude, the context under why he attacked the crowd was because Goku was pressing Jiren. That's the whole entire point. The point is he's getting pressured out of character due to a massive power disparity. That's the entire point. You're just disregarding. You're literally just disregarding like a heavy piece of the context.
Okay, I see. So I agree he was getting pressured there, but Jiren was also getting pressured many times prior in the tournament. So I think in that moment, it was just more so like because at that in that moment you're also kind of ignoring context because Jiren remembers his past and he's thinking about his master and stuff, and he's sort of like thinking about the whole like fucking shit where it's like, okay, I have to get strong so that nobody dies like my master died back in the day. So I think that's really what was causing the change there. Sorry,
that's what I said earlier, Haram. For Haram, like that's literally what I said earlier. What I said earlier was
different.
Yeah, what I said, that's literally what I said earlier. I said the context later on, the reason why he's under this stressful situation, which is what you highlighted, was because there was such a great power disparity that he had to overcome. It literally like made him reminisce back on his childhood when that same power disparity was present, and which enabled his master to get killed. That's the whole point I'm making here. As for the Vegeta instance, he has a way out, which is him simply increasing his power, which is literally demonstrated the very next instance.
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with the interpretation that the reason why he remembers his past is because of him getting pressured. No, I think he remembers the past just because I don't know, because he just reminisces at that time, or maybe the trauma just like came up or whatever. No, I don't think there's any reason to it more than that. And my reason for that is just what?
It specifically stated that it is because of the trauma. I'll just like send you the panel.
No, yeah, well, because of the trauma, yeah, I'm saying, like, I don't know what the specific reason is, but I don't think it's because of that. I don't think it's because he's getting pressured, which is making the trauma pop up.
No, that's literally what's stated. That's why I'm saying I'll get the scan.
It stated that Goku just beat on Jiren so badly that he started remembering when he was a kid, and he was, like, weak as fuck.
Yes, that's literally stated. I'll just get the panel.
Dude, people need to make more Yuta edits from JJK, bro.
What is the debate about?
He's so cool. The debate is just like him trying to prove like the blue Vegeta that like pressured Jiren is like stronger than Omen 1 Goku.
Okay.
I mean, that nigga clearly is like, I don't know why this even like a debate.
I think it's fairly apparent, but I'm gonna just like send the scans because he clearly disagrees with the.
Yeah, I agree with Oshi. Like, I do want to ask you a quick question. Yeah, Lucas. You're in the debate, but is it okay if I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Why do you have like evolution Vegeta versus Topo like below God Topo?
Because Vegeta gets stronger as the tournament power progresses. So like if he's already,
I thought you meant like the end of like their fight, like end of fight Vegeta when he used the final explosion, or you're talking about like Vegeta when he initially went evolution against Topo and he's losing.
That's okay. So like the evolution one is where he like first goes evolution against Topo, and then like the one afterwards is him with the final explosion.
Okay,
along with him just growing stronger due to breaking his limits.
Yeah.
But here you go, Haram. So there's like when Jiren's getting his ass beat by Goku, he's saying just like then, and he's having a flashback of his master and Jiren being weak and he can't protect anything. He says, I won't ever go through that again. That's when he transforms. And then Vegeta says, it looks like being cornered by Kakarot made him remember his past trauma. So the cornering, which is due to his physical capabilities, is what allowed him to undergo this sort of trauma. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, this is like a different thing altogether. This isn't like.
Oh, this is the same instant.
I'm talking like literally. Look, he has his shirt on. I'm talking about when Jiren doesn't even have his shirt on. He's like knocked into like some rocks, and like the fucking impact of getting knocked into the rocks literally makes like a fucking like body mark, and then he like flips out and then like breaks the rocks and then shoots at the crowd. This is like a different thing.
Yes, that could be it as well. He could take his anger out on the crowd due to his trauma. I'm perfectly fine with that.
No, but that's not what I'm talking about here.
No, what I'm saying is that can also be explained through the trauma as well. If we have this prior instance, which is when he's cornered, that's when he acts out of character because of his trauma. He relives it, right? And then in that instance, he does something another time out of character, which is aiming for innocent people to try to make his universe survive. So he won't have to undergo the same loss he had when he lost his master. Those two things, the prior just adds a consistency to his character.
Yeah, my issue with this, though, is even when he was getting cornered prior, he didn't just go right away towards trying to kill Goku's friends or something like that. So later on, that's what he does, and I think like after a certain while, maybe Jiren's like mental breaks, and then he does something out of character. But I don't know if this is remembering past trauma, because this is like at the time when, sure, he just got hit by Goku a couple of times, but he's not down and out for the count. Earlier, this is when he's getting pressured so bad where he can't win the fight.
Yeah, and Jiren could not win against Goku either during MUI, and then the same exact instance prior, this is literally the same result. He's getting overwhelmed to oblivion by Goku. There's no distinction there in terms of performance.
Well, no, they go relative. He definitely could have won. I get Goku won in the end, but they went relative.
They were not relative. Goku literally pummeled Jiren to a bloody pulp in MUI.
You can do that with someone you're relative to. That doesn't mean anything.
Wait. You can speed blitz the fuck out of someone and pummel them to a bloody pulp, and you'll say that's relative.
That's fucking retarded.
You just added speed bliss. What the fuck, nigga? All you said was bloody pulp initially.
No. Goku overwhelmed Jiren so bad, he speed blitzed the fuck out of him, hit him with multiple fucking Kai shots with his fist to the point where Jiren coughs up blood and couldn't do shit about it.
Nigga, he hits him with ki blast from a range. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean he got speed blitzed. They literally clashed. They literally clashed punches at like close range. At closer range, it should be harder to react to attacks. And then they literally go relative for like a minute. Like, look at the clip.
Wait. That's even better. Closer range is harder. Wait, you just made the claim and said closer range is going to be harder for you to react to attacks. Meanwhile, you openly concede that Jiren could not dodge these long range attacks. So what that tells me exactly implies the opposite, because it's demonstrated that the long range attacks is what's blitzing him, and then the close range attacks he's like keeping up with. That just tells me that the ki blast skill is above Goku's physicality, from like how fast he can move his fists, etc. So like even then, that really doesn't do anything for you. It's still tell me it's still the same. Jiren gets overwhelmed by Goku on the condition he uses his ki blast. So he gets blitzed by his ki blast and he gets overwhelmed. It does not change the tell me to what I'm saying at all.
Well, no, that's not true at all, because Jiren literally got knocked back because of inertia, and then Goku started shooting out those flying punches, which were probably like ki punches. And also, we literally see like during this fight, these guys are shooting ki blasts at each other, and like Goku's reacting and Jiren's reacting and shit. So it seems like that's like a situational thing, because he got knocked back and he was under inertia, so he couldn't just like put up his guard.
Wait, why does inertia matter?
Inertia? These niggas can't fly. These niggas can't fly. It's harder to move in the air.
Yeah, prove that. Prove they can't fucking fly.
Nigga, you're a rat. You can't fly in the Tournament of Power?
Prove that. No, yeah, I'm asking you to prove that. Okay, here. I'll alleviate that burden, because I know you're not going to be able to prove that shit. I'll literally send you a panel of Jiren literally flying right now. So here.
Damn!
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that he jumped so hard that he like looked like he flew through the air, but really that's just like his jump power.
What the fuck?
That's not what I'm talking about.
Who's gonna tell him? Who's gonna tell him?
So look at this. Wait a minute. Look. Where's that pen at? Oh wait, I got. Oh yeah, I can just get the video because I got the video on my computer. It's in my folder. Give me like 30 seconds, real quick. Look at this around. Oh no, I almost supposed to say Castle Black. What do you call this around? I'll send like another. I'll like screen record another instance as well. Yeah. Here you go, Mr. Rom. I'm Oh wait, no,
I'm back.
no.
I'm
There we
back.
go. All right. I'm gonna screen record this thing for you real quick, and then I want you to see what I'm talking about.
Nigga, what the fuck am I looking at?
That's Jared Negan out the no fly rule. He could fly. Here's another instance right here when he's flying as well.
I mean, even if you can fly, inertia still matters because we literally see that like Jared flying backwards. So hold on, like you can get knocked back, and the fact that he didn't immediately just like get back into shape and just recuperate his guard, like, and put up a guard. That means like I think that just clearly implies that there's some factor like inertia or just being like I don't know, like kind of like shaking after just taking like a heavy punch, which means that was probably stopped him from doing that.
Wait. For one, I'm not going to automatically assume that the laws of physics within this realm is applicable to the realm that they normally reside in. This is a realm that's void of both time and space. I'm not going to assume that the properties such as inertia even exist here. So I'm going to need an argument for that.
Time and space, yeah, I think that's a hyperbole statement. I don't think that statement is meant to be taken literally.
Why is it hyperbole? Wait,
I think it just means that there's not much space and time doesn't pass in this realm. But obviously, you know, a place without time and space, that has contradictions, that has problems, that doesn't make any sense. How can there be causality in a realm without time and space? That doesn't make sense.
Wait. You're assuming that the world of Dragon Ball works on the same framework that our universe works in. Why are we assuming this, for one? And for two,
you're gonna posit more entities.
And for one, what you literally just said is such as, oh, like this could be hyperbole. I'm gonna need an argument for that as well, because as far as I'm concerned, I do not see. I really want to know where you're coming at, where you're saying that this is hyperbolic. Or like, where does it say or imply that it's hyperbolic? And if it's directly from the narrator as well, and it's direct. No, not even from the narrator. It's from Whis. Whis is the ones making this claim. I don't think you can prove anything Whis' character to speak of hyperbole.
Yeah, I just think it's much more likely because the alternative hypothesis would posit so much more entities and have so much lower explanatory power.
Wait. Why does positing more entities entails lower explanatory power?
I said and explanatory power. That was a conjunctive statement, so it has two different parts.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so mine has more explanatory power because mine's, on the other hand, is not contingent on such headcanon, such as the rules of the universe that operates under our framework is going to be the same way that the Dragon Ball universe operates under. You have yet to deliver an argument for that at all, right? So that's just not justified in the slightest. And two, you have yet to justify it being hyperbole. And the whole reason why you haven't justified that is because I put in a question that to give me a consistency of Whis, because this is what the statement is coming from Whis, if he's even capable of speaking of hyperbole. You have yet to justify that.
Consistently do it. He can like have instances where he's like hyperbolic. Whis doesn't even have much dialogue, so that doesn't really matter. And regardless of that, your view doesn't. Hold on one second. Your view that. One second. I'll talk about that in a second. Your view that. I'm not question begging. I just told you I'll address that in a second. And secondly, your view doesn't have higher explanatory power. All you did there was just say, okay, well, I'm just going to change the way the fucking, like, Dragon Ball world works so that my view can just work. So it has, therefore it just has higher explanatory power.
It's demonstrated to not be the same. It's literally demonstrated. I could give you.
It's demonstrated to not be the same, but I don't think you could demonstrate that the laws of causality in Dragon Ball are different.
I could give you. Wait, I can give you multiple examples. Right. Another example is that there's literally resides dimensions within their universe that devoid of time, or it has a different flow of time. That's inherently distinct from the way our universe works. If you disagree with that, I want to hear an argument for that. For another thing is the afterlife literally resides.
Can you give me more specifics on that?
Wait, let me finish. The afterlife literally resides on top of the living universe as well, and hell also resides at the bottom of the living universe. Those are literally not the same way our universe constructed, because the way our universe constructed, there's no way we can verify that at all. That's so much.
Wait, that's an argument from ignorance. That could literally work. There's no contradiction of that.
There's not an argument for ignorance. That's not an argument for ignorance. I'm saying I don't have
evidence for that. Therefore, it can't be the case. That's an argument from ignorance.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
That is what you said.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
What I'm saying here is that if I don't have any indicators to believe that this is the case, right, then I'm going to go with something that's going to be inherently more likely, given that there's going to be some sort of lack of indication, which is that we do not see heaven nor hell. Right.
Okay, we don't see God, therefore it's more likely God doesn't exist. You see the absurdity of that view, though?
No, it's not absurd. I don't think it's absurdity. That's under your view. That's absurd. Under my view, it's not absurd. Where do we go from here, Ron?
Well, no. What do you mean? Where do we go from there? My view still has higher explanatory power, because everyone can recognize and reconcile the fact that even if you do not see something could still occur. Like that. That's a given fact.
I'm not gonna know. Well, you saying that's a given fact. You're still not delivering an argument for any of this.
Okay, okay. So I want to see any reason. I'm just gonna ask you this question. Can you give me any form of reasoning which is somewhat sensible for why? Just because I don't see. Hold on. Just because I don't see papers under my desk, why it's more likely that papers don't exist under my desk?
Do you want to move on?
I want to see any form of reasoning which could reconcile that or make it make any sense whatsoever.
I reconciled it earlier. We can move on.
Yeah, how did you reconcile it? I don't think you reconciled it. I think you just repeated yourself.
You can believe that. Yes, you can
just move on, bro. Just move on. And bro, you're not using explanatory power rights. Please stop using stuff you don't know nothing about.
Okay, what part? How did I not use it right? What proposition did I use it incorrectly with?
No, don't. Okay, no, future. Don't even answer that. Okay, so yeah, back to the substance, right? I've proven a claim, right, which is that he can fly, right? So yes, they can fly. Which obviously means you have yet to justify that inertia even exists within this void of nothingness. You have failed to establish that it's hyperbole, because what I actually put into question is because of Whis, right? I'm not going to assume that Whis can speak in a hyperbolic manner if he's literally a space alien that does not share the same linguistic system that we do. I'm not going to assume that. That's on you to justify. That is an implicit claim that you're making. You have yet to justify that either. So out of all the burns that tacked on you, have not justified any of them at all. At all.
You tacked one burden on me, and that burden didn't even really matter. But yeah, I'll address that burden in a second. But regardless, you literally committed optical suicide. I asked you to reconcile some shit which you knew was stupid, and you literally just pulled out the gun and shot yourself in the head. Optical suicide in Notion. Okay. So hold on. So I'm gonna ask you this question with the Jiren. No, actually, no. I'm not gonna ask you that question because that's not relevant. Okay. Yeah. So just hold on. So you want me to prove that? So you wanted me to prove the fucking we shit, it's a consistent in character for him to do that? I don't think I have to prove that burden. I think I've already given justification for why, even if
we can move on.
Even if it's not consistent, I have very good reason for believing that this thing is the case. So we can move on.
Haram, I already said we can move on. You already said we moved on earlier. We can move on. Okay, it's established that I already established Jiren can fly, right? You have to justify that. That's inertia which pushing Jiren, so that's just nullified, right? That's just voided out. You have never justified that at all. So yeah. I believe I just won, to be honest. I think. Oh no, I gotta establish Goku. Yeah, so Goku doesn't make Jiren sweat under physical duress. I don't believe you even justify your position towards that as well. I think you just I believe you literally just killed yourself on that it's pretty badly.
You may justify my position on that. I'm agnostic.
Yeah. No, I mean justify the burdens I placed on you. That's what I mean by that. But yeah. I think this is the end, to be honest. I think I already justified as to why Vegeta is above Omen 1 Goku. just through the like demonstrations. So yeah, I think that's it. No, wait. I also want to say this as well. To add further, I'm gonna add like further consistency to this as well. Is that Vegeta right here literally says that Jiren, so he literally says that mocks Jiren. He literally mocks him and says, "You are faster and stronger than when you fought Kakarot." So he's literally mocking Jiren at the level of power that he's operating under, and clearly this Jiren is under some sort of more duress than he was against Omen 1 Goku. So clearly, this is some sort of indicator that it's in Vegeta's character to be mocking his opponent. So I think we can move on now. I think we can like just conclude.
You realize the scan you just sent kind of just one-shot your whole argument, and I didn't even remember that it existed. If he was stronger when he fought Kakarot, then there's no chain scale for why Jiren would be, at a similar level or even a comparable level to where if Vegeta was stronger than him there, then he would be above Goku.
Who's gonna tell him, guys? Who's gonna tell him what I just said?
What did you just say? I just overtalked you. I couldn't hear what you just said.
Y'all should just kill the wreck, bro. And Haram, you said you couldn't hear what he said because you're over talking him, but I'm telling you, bro, turn your mic down so you can actually hear him.
Am I that loud?
Yes, you're that loud, my nigga. Like you're drowning this nigga out. No fucking shit. You can't track and hear what he's saying.
All right. I'll just let him speak. I won't talk over him.
I think we can kill the wreck. I genuinely believe we can just kill the wreck. I think I killed.